so I'll just get started. My name is Lorelei, and I am a keto coach with Beachbody for Team Beauty Fit. I'm part of this keto kickstart, and I myself have been on keto for just about 6 weeks, and I like it very much. I have a lot of energy. I've lost about 20 pounds so far, so I'm really enjoying it. So I'm here today to talk about our hot topic, and our hot topic is kind of what is ketosis and everything that goes along with that. So what is ketosis? How does ketosis work? How do you know if you're in ketosis? And how long can you be in ketosis? So there's a lot of names for this diet or this meal plan. So it's called keto, it's called ketosis. You might have heard it called a ketogenic meal plan. Those are all terms that can be used to refer to keto. The only term that some people confuse it with that is not applicable is ketoacidosis. That's a life-threatening, hi guys, hi Selena, hi Ashley. Okay, so ketoacidosis is a bad thing. So that occurs in diabetics. It's a life-threatening condition. You don't want that. And that is not what this is. So I just wanted to make a distinction that some people hear keto and they automatically think that that's almost like a life-threatening condition you're putting yourself in, and it's pretty much just the opposite. Okay, so for our Western diet is typically high in carbs and sometimes low in fat. That is not ketosis, but I just want to talk about what the Western diet typically is so you can understand the distinction. Okay, so we eat carbs, and carbs creates glucose, which is stored as glycogen in the liver and your muscles. And you only have the capacity to store so much glycogen before the glucose will start to pool in your blood, and that will raise your insulin levels. And over time, this just creates more and more insulin, okay? So it's kind of a negative system that you're creating there as your insulin rises. So and that's all stored as body fat. All of that glucose, that extra glucose, just keeps getting stored as body fat. And it gets harder and harder to burn because there's only certain ways to burn at high intensity exercise. So to look at ketosis, what keto is because you starve your body of carbs in the sense of when you're getting into ketosis, your carb levels drop rapidly. So this forces your body to burn off its stored glycogen. Lipase will release the stored triglycerides. And then the fatty acids released will travel to your liver. Your liver is what will produce the ketones. And instead of using glucose for energy, like in the Western diet, you will be using those ketones for energy. And that's called ketogenesis. So that's actually the metabolic process that goes on in your body. That's called ketogenesis. But you are then in ketosis. So that's the state that your body is in. So ketosis has a lot of really wonderful benefits. So you will have increased mental clarity. You will have a ton of energy because it's a very efficient system for your body to burn energy. Honestly, I was completely shocked with how much energy I had. Like, I have hypothyroidism, so I'm not used to having high levels of energy naturally, like without medication, and yeah, phenomenal amount of energy. So I would say that's a huge plus for me, at least, for any mom really, to have natural energy levels. You don't have to caffeinate. so it's better for your body. Okay, so that's the benefits. So those are some of the benefits of keto. How to know if you're in ketosis? So once you start eating your ketogenic meal plan, so a couple things will happen. You may not feel very good for the first few days. That's kind of called the keto flu. I kind of associate it with my body as almost like throwing a little toddler tantrum, kind of. Like it was kind of like wanting to resist what I was doing, and that's fine because it's never been in ketosis, right? So you got to give it some time. So make sure that you stay on keto long enough to get past that initial phase, because the initial phase is kind of rough in that you don't feel very good. You might have headaches. It's really just your body having to switch from these major metabolic processes from the glucose to the ketones, okay? So you may get headaches, which is normal, but if you do start to get a headache, it means your sodium level is low. So they actually recommend in the first few days to have lots of sodium. So some people drink straight water with salt in it. I didn't want to do that. Some people do a bouillon cube in warm water. For me, I drank organic chicken stock from Costco, and I would have about 2 cups of that every night, and it was warm and it was tasty, and I never had any headaches. So for me, that worked. You need to find what works for you, but just know that your body will really need sodium in that first period, okay? So let's see. So that's getting into ketosis. So you really want to keep your water up as well. That's super, super important. I mean, that's important anyways, right? But it's really important when you're making your body shift, because your body's working really hard. So it's burning a lot, and it's burning off all of that excess water. I mean, literally, your fat stores are just like shrinking, and so all the water is shrinking out of your fat cells. And so, I mean, I lost 10 pounds in 10 days, and I don't think I really lost many inches necessarily. It was just bloat, and it was water weight. So you really want to keep up your water. I mean, for me, I drink 100 ounces of water a day, so a gallon is 128 ounces, so maybe shoot for a gallon. See how close you can get. So how to know if your body is in ketosis? Okay, so you will have increased urination for sure, a lot. And that's because that's how your body actually gets rid of those ketones, right? It's through urination. It's through your urine. So you're going to be peeing a lot. You're going to be drinking a lot of water to replenish what you're peeing. You may have a dry mouth, but increased thirst. And that's a typical marker of ketosis. So how long does it take to get into ketosis? So it really depends on the glycogen stores in your body, how long it takes to kind of massively deplete those. For me, I went on keto starting Monday morning. And when I tested, I was in ketosis by Tuesday afternoon. So it can be quick. It really depends. I ate a lower sugar diet as it was, so I think that might be part of why I was so quickly into it. However, that just means you're in the initial phase. It doesn't mean you're in like kind of the long-term permanent phase. So typically for people, it takes 2 to 7 days to get into ketosis. I'm actually going to have some water real quick. Okay. So that's typical. And then once you're in ketosis, if you keep eating a ketogenic meal plan, you can just stay in ketosis. If you have a large amount of carbs, it will kick you out of ketosis because your body is going, oh my gosh, I have all this glucose. I have to do something with it. So then it's going to revert back to that previous metabolic state. And then it takes time for you to get back into ketosis. So it's really good to try to stay committed. Okay. So I started ketosis on Monday, May 15th, and I've been in ketosis ever since. And the way that I know I'm in ketosis, and the way that you'll know that you're in ketosis, I didn't bring them, sorry. So the easiest way to tell is by getting these little ketone test strips, or they're called keto sticks. I found mine in my local pharmacy in the diabetic section. It says ketone test strips for diabetics or low carb dieters. Perfect. They're not super expensive, and what I did was, you want to test the same time every day, but it's just a little stick. It has a little pad at the end, and when you're peeing, you just kind of like hold it in your stream, and then it's usually like a muted kind of like peach. And basically, if it changes color at all, you're in ketosis, because you have increased ketone bodies that your body is producing, and so those are being excreted in your urine. There are other ways to test that you're in ketosis, and that is, there are blood testing meters where you actually prick your finger and it will tell you. That is more accurate because you're testing the blood, not the urine. I guess it's slightly more invasive, but it is more accurate. And then, you can get those through your insurance, I believe. You could pay for it out of the pocket too. But the ketone test strips are effective, and it's really gratifying to know that, like, you're in this diet and your body doesn't feel good when you're first starting, but you really want to lose weight and you want to feel good, and everyone says keto is awesome, and then you do your test 2 or 3 days after you started eating keto, and bam, it's purple. And that's what you want, and it's awesome, and it feels so good. So it's gratifying. I was testing every day for a while, and then I just kind of I don't do anything to kick myself out of keto, so I don't test every day because I know I'm in ketosis. Your body's not just going to go, oh, I'm not doing this anymore. Your body's going to stay in ketosis as long as you stay within your macros and you stay within your net carbs and you drink water and you make sure your sodium level's up. And so how long can you be in ketosis? That's one of the questions I wanted to address. So the really great thing about keto is that you can be in ketosis for long periods of time. And I don't mean like a week or 2 weeks or 6 months. I mean, keto is a lifestyle change. So you can be in ketosis for years. So our coach Ashley at Team Beauty Fit, she has done keto before, and she was on it for long periods of time. Talisha, earlier in the week, who talked about what foods to eat and what foods not to eat, she talked about she's been on keto and in ketosis since January. So that's 6 months. And so it doesn't harm your body in any way to be in ketosis for long periods of time. So for me, I've been in keto for 6 weeks, and I have this hypothyroidism, and so I actually reached out to my doctor and said, I've stopped taking my thyroid medicine because I don't need it. I don't feel like I need it. I have tons of energy. Can we do some blood work? And so I had this battery of blood tests done, and I cut my TSH levels in half in 6 weeks. So I'm almost in the normal range, which is amazing because I have this medical condition where my thyroid levels are usually crazy. So that was really gratifying. And then there are people who say, oh, well, if you're eating all this fat, you must have terrible cholesterol. And I was really happy to see that I have awesome cholesterol. So eating all these avocados and this bacon and this cheese, for me, my body processes it so efficiently, it's not affecting my cholesterol, which is really great to hear for me. So I think that's pretty much the basics. If you have questions, any of us would be happy to answer them for you. I really love keto. It's been a game changer for me. I had done diets. I had actually done diet pills years ago, like 15 years ago. And I had forgotten that, and that was a terrible experience for me. I think I just blocked it out. And I don't want to do that. I eat healthy, I eat clean, I eat organic, and so it was really important for me to find something that I could do naturally to help my body and to help my life, really. So I'm happier on keto. I feel better on keto. I have tons of energy on keto. And I love what I'm eating. I mean, I don't feel like I'm sacrificing at all. Another benefit of keto is that because you don't have all that glucose, your body's not craving the glucose, which is sugar, right? So I literally don't have a sweet tooth. My office frequently has cookies, and we frequently have cake, and they're all like, Lorelai, don't you want some cake? And I'm like, no, really no. I really don't. Like, I don't crave that at all, and it would taste so insanely, probably sickeningly sweet to me. I'm not interested, and it would kick me out of keto, so it's completely not worth it to me. So I stay the course, and I drink my water, and I hang out with them, but I'm not craving that cake. And so for me, that just shows that I'm in the state my body wants to be in, and I love it. So I'm going to wrap this up. I hope I answered a bunch of kind of like basic questions about keto. Again, Ashley, Talisha, Colette, myself, Selena, any of us who have done keto or are doing keto would be happy to answer questions for you. And I hope that you guys all decide at the end of the 7 days to try out ketosis, to try out a ketogenic meal plan. It is wonderful, and I think that you'll really love it. So thanks for listening, and have a wonderful day.